It doesn't work? Alright, guys. Let's start this thing. Let's do it. Let me get my computer in here. Yeah, we should be more organized with these, but, you know, we'll get it one of these days. We've only done 200 videos, you know, it's like we're just starting out. All right. What do you guys want to talk about today? Oh, I'll start with the story. Let's start with the story. I guess we're preparing for this year's trip to Lake Havasu. Lake Havasu has a show every year. It's called Buses by the Bridge because it's in the London Bridge. Some bridge. I don't think I've ever seen it, but it's somewhere around where this show takes place, and there's a big gathering of buses that has been happening now for 20 years. Is it 20 years? 20 years. I think this year is going to be the 20th year. And so it's pretty cool. You know, it's buses from all over the place, all over the country they go. And it's mostly like, there's a big group of them that are like camping buses, you know. They're like, because it's a camping event. And so everybody drives out there. We started going, I don't know, 3 years ago. Gabriel's been, you know, my brother's been going for a long time. But for me, it's like my third time that I'm going to go. Last year, we took the bus, the Samba, there. And it was crazy because it was the longest trip that I've done, right? So this year, it's a year later, and the Samba is working. Like, I've done nothing to it, really. It's going. There's no problems. Every once in a while, I gotta go put water in the thing because the box that the reservoir that I put for the water is gonna be there. Like, it's just kind of falling apart and the water just drips out. But other than that, there's no serious issues with it. It's just the Samba just keeps going and going. And so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I have some plans maybe for the battery, because we now have a little bit more battery here for this other project. So maybe what I'm going to do is like take it out of this project and then, you know, temporarily put it in the Samba just for this trip kind of thing. Maybe I'll get, so one of the things that I wanted to do was to put like a travel trailer, battery trailer. So basically your car runs around with the battery that it has. But then you put this big battery on a little trailer that you connect it to the back of your bus, put a connection, then your battery's big. And it's only needed when you're going to go on long trips. That's one fix, that's one way that electric cars can be used. You know what I mean? Like, you only take long trips like some percentage of the time. It's not like all the time that you're traveling, right? Most Americans only travel, you know, less than 10% of their driving is like long range. And so if you can have this like big battery in your garage and you can use that battery to power your house, you know, the way like the Powerwall works. Or think about it that way, like, oh, if I need to go like on vacation this summer, I'll just take my Powerwall with me and that'll give me like 500 miles or 600 miles of range. You know, how great would that be? And so that is a project that I'm thinking of doing. And maybe it's always like, I don't know if I have the time and the money to do it this time around, but all the projects that I do, it's always the same story. I never have the time or the money. I never had the time or the money to start the Samba, to convert it, but I still went ahead and did it, and it kind of all worked out. So I think, even though it seems like it's not the right time, maybe it is the right time, just because that's just how it's always worked out. And so those are the plans. Here's the other thing. I just talked to Michael from EV West. It seems like he's going to be joining me. And so now it's not just going to be me with a bunch of other, you know, BW cars, regular BW cars. It's going to be 2 electric Sambas taking the trip this year, and we're gonna go and camp in the same place and charge in the same place, and so those are the plans that we're hoping for next month. This is like mid-January or something like that. So that's coming up. There's gonna be a lot of great content there for the travel people that like to see the stories, the travel stories. For the EV crowd, that if you like the stuff that I do with the EVs, then it's going to be great because there's going to be a lot of great content if we do these projects. I don't have to do this, but it will be more, I mean, it'll be more interesting. Some other people done this little trailers, you know what I mean? Like, but I haven't done them, so I want to try it out and stuff. For the blogging people that like my vlogs, then I'm going to have a lot of stuff to vlog about every day and upload, and I don't know how I'm going to do that, but that's going to be the challenge.
Couple things. Jason's asking, why not pulling a generator? What about pulling a generator? Christopher says, parallel switch the trailer battery.
Parallel switch the battery. I don't know what that means. Generator, the reason is because the Samba requires lots of energy to be driven down the road. So sustain power consumption going 60 miles down the road on the thing, it's about 200 amps. Add 130 volts, which is, let me see, where's my phone? Hold on. Let's get my phone in there. Let's do some math. I figured this out already. But let's figure it out again. So the Samba needs 120 volts times 200 amps. So that's about 24 kilowatts, 24,000 watts of power that the Samba needs continuous to be able to go down the road. Of course, we can probably get half of that from the battery, and then get half of that. So maybe I can get a 12,000 watt generator going down the road. It's possible, but it's loud, it's noisy, it pollutes. That is not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to figure out a way that it's clean and it's using batteries. The new technology is going to be, I think batteries is the only technology that I think it's kind of clean, that can be clean if it can be recharged, using solar panels. So that's the thing. A lot of people say like, why don't you just do diesel? It's better, which now, with the news and VW stuff, then it's not. The reason why electric works, it's because it's the only kind of power thing that can be completely clean once all the manufacturing carbon footprint gets out of the way. It could be a sustainable zero carbon footprint technology, a source of energy. Whether like any of the fossil fuels cannot be ever zero carbon footprint. And so that's the reason why we like electric, or I like electric, even though it's got huge and serious challenges still up ahead. So that's the argument there that we give all the time when people ask that. So that's okay. Any other questions? Doing the battery on the little trailer is actually quite straightforward. You know what I mean? It's like, especially with these modules that we're dealing with, the Tesla modules. It's like it takes two modules and you pair them together, and then you link them in series, and then the two that come out, and then that's your ones that go into your battery. And then you do that again. You pair another one, and then you parallel all those. And so you can go 2, 4, a pair. It's like any. You can add them by pairs, and then that's how big your battery becomes. Every two modules is an extra 6 kilowatts of battery. So you just how big you want your battery trailer to be. How long you need to go and how many times you want to charge. You just add some of those. And so that's the beauty of those. I there's a lot of ways to do it, but the simplest way is just connect it just as an extension of your other battery, kind of like just parallel it with your battery, which is crazy. A lot of people think that it's not that simple, that it needs to be more complex. But once again, I'm like, why? Where's the rule book? There's no such thing. We're gonna try it that way. It's the same thing as having a mixed chemistry battery. Like that's the funny thing. I don't know if you guys caught that thing where I did with the microphones, and I was making fun of Jack and him burning down, almost burning down his thing. Jack is the first one that he thinks of himself as someone that is gonna break the rules and the thing, and you shouldn't let other people tell. And he was the one, my biggest critic. He was the one that always, like, more than a few times, he told me that I was way too in over my head. I didn't know what I was doing. That I needed to let people that I needed to go and educate myself, and that I was gonna burn down my garage. It always came down to that. It's like, you're stupid. You're gonna burn down your thing. It's like, you're a bad thing for the EV community. Like, you're a bad influence because you're out there pushing just crap. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. And then to see that he's the one that it was almost burning his house. He's been in that position so many times. It's kind of funny. Like, I'm breaking the rules. I'm trying to I'm like, my position's like, okay, people say certain things. You shouldn't do this because of this and this and this. And then I look at the reasons and I'm like, I don't buy the reasons. I want to try it on for myself. So everything that I'm doing, I'm proving it to myself. And that's the way that you can surely know. I know that batteries catch fire. I know that having mixed chemistry is not the best way to do it, that it increases maybe the danger level. I know that stuff. I understand it. But I'm also saying, like, it can be done, and it can be done at a level that it's safe and it could last for, I'm writing like this for like more than a year now. And so where are those people that say that you can't run batteries without a BMS? It's like, or mixed chemistry. I'm doing it over a year now. It's like, what other proof do you need? It's like, at least for myself, is I don't need anymore. I'm doing it, And so I'm just putting it out there. Well, people are going to argue with me. People are going to tell me that I'm doing it wrong. That's just the way it is. All right. Any more questions? Interesting questions?
3D printer on a carbon fiber on my current EV motorcycle build. Oh, that's not a question.
That's not a question.
What sort of pack size or power wall Samba battery pack is available to you? Something that you can slide in and out.
Oh, so like, again, like those modules, I wonder if we can put a picture of them. Can you put a picture? We can go download it from EV West.
Well, you could show it on your phone if you want, but
oh, I see. Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Not put it on the video. We haven't figured that out yet.
Not yet.
So if you're not familiar with the Tesla built modules that we are using, they're available at EV West. And so those are 3 kilowatts each, and they weigh 42 pounds. And so I guess you can pair two of them in series, and then those two outputs is going to be about 130 volts fully charged. And so those make like a 6 kilowatt pack.
What's the thing what can I search for on EV West? I want to try a link and see if it works.
Just do batteries. Like, go to the battery thing right there, and they're going to be like the first one right there. So that's a 6 kilowatt little pack, and it's it's about 30 inches by 8 inches and another 8 inches. It's like a long tube, or square.
Which one are you talking about?
Go down those.
Please.
Yeah. And so they're 42, so they'll be like around 84 pounds. Put whatever else you use to kind of put them together. So it's about 100 pounds, maybe. 20 pounds is too much. Maybe about 90 pounds. That could be something that you can put in. It's like 6 kilowatts at a time. 6 kilowatts That's what kind of range is that on the Samba? So I think my Samba uses about 300 watts, right? So 6,000 divided by 300. So that's about 20 miles of range. And it's about 100 pounds, about 90 pounds. And so you can like take those out, put them in or whatever. But that's about what it works out to be.
Say what's up to Hot Rod.
Hey, Hot Rod, what's up?
Also, Eric was saying that would anybody be able to charge on those Tesla superchargers?
Oh, okay. So the Tesla superchargers have some kind of communication, right? I think maybe people are kind of figuring it out, but I think the charger knows which car it's charging, and so through like, because it keeps a log, like you can go in the history on these cars and know exactly how many times it's been charged, where it's been charged. They're keeping track of all that stuff. So it'd be hard to make like a DIY car and then like make the thing and like go. Maybe there's gonna be a way someday to spoof it and to do that stuff, but there's a bunch of legal issues why that's not gonna be possible. Not to mention that there's more and more Tesla cars. I think there's more Tesla cars being put in the road than chargers, and so at this point, I think every charger that you see out there, unless it's like in some way remote area, now there's like a line. There's always a bunch of people, and so like a DIY electric car could never pull in there without causing some kind of like commotion. You know, people would get angry, especially like the Tesla owners would get angry because they're going, hey, we have priority. We paid for this service. Who are you? You're just stealing energy. And so those are the legal issues that are there. There are other types of Tesla chargers that I just became aware. There was a video that went around where a guy was charging what was he charging? He was charging an i3. A BMW i3 using a custom connector to charge out of those little, not the superchargers, but the ones that are like level 2, and they're everywhere, I guess, to charge the Model S's, you know, at level 2 speeds. And so apparently those don't have like, you know, anything special other than the regular level 2, the J1772 spec or whatever. And so that is going to be possible. So those connectors are coming. There's already someone that is using them. There's a video going around, and apparently there's a source that is credible to me that said that those are coming to market, and they were involved in that, and so we're going to be able to charge in at least half of the Model S chargers. Not the superchargers, but the regular level 2 chargers.
People are saying Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving. I'm more like busy Thanksgiving. We're working. There haven't been any vlogs. I haven't been uploading videos just because I've been so busy. I was here like super late and stuff.
Capacity. What is this guy talking about? Lithium-ion 18650 EV module, 57 volt, 3 kilowatt hours. Capacity 57. Height. Oh, he's getting all the. He's talking about, because I was able to post a link.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So people are able to.
Yeah, those are the specs for.
See the specs, yeah.
Yeah.
All
right.
From Australia, saying that they have some Tesla chargers out there now.
Yeah, they're popping up everywhere. But there are two types. There's the supercharged chargers, and then there's the regular chargers, level 2. And so the ones that are going to be off limits, I think, for the rest of us, I think for a long time, until some kind of deal is made, it's going to be the supercharger ones. Because that is like DC power, I think. And it's some like 400 volts, 400 amps. It's some crazy amount. It's up to 130 kilowatts. that's the potential. I think that's the high end that it could do, if the power, the plug, wherever that thing is plugged into, can deliver that. So it's a huge thing, and they're using special cables, and they're using all kinds of specialized equipment to get that kind of energy into the car. So that's gonna take a little bit more than just some of us just making a little like adapter or something. You know what I mean? Like it's serious stuff, but it's coming. I mean, I think it's gonna be good.
This guy he says in England they're testing a road system that charges the car while you drive down the road. When car is fully charged, the magnetic coil folds up.
Oh, that's cool.
The field. That's pretty cool.
That's cool. Except that it's gonna be a while before that takes in because of the huge infrastructure, right? I mean, we're having trouble building like little stations here and there. Yeah, I mean, if you can charge while you're going down the road, that would be perfect. Yeah, that would be a great way to get this technology off and running.
What happened to you making your own charger? This guy's saying right now make a charger is not hard.
Yeah, I kind of like gave up on that. I mean, not officially. It's still happening, but I just haven't touched it for months and months. It's probably going to be close to a year now. Wait, yeah, more than a year. Because I got the charger that I have currently on the Samba, about a year ago, a little bit over a year ago, right before the trip to Havasu. Yeah, I just haven't had the time that I need to. Like, that's another reason why I want to make a living making videos, because if I do that, then it gives me free time from shipping all these orders to exploring new things like that. I want to finish that charger. I spent all the money. I have all the components. It's sitting in a shelf in the back over there, and so I just don't have the time. And so like I'm prioritizing like what are the things that are gonna pay off for me, what I mean? Like and so I decided there's other things that I need to do before I can get to that charger. And so that thing is just, it's there waiting for me.
Any thoughts on making the Samba more aerodynamic?
I thought about it, but I don't see anything.
You should say the question, so I don't know if they can hear me.
Yeah, I think they can hear you, but it's like the question is if I have thought about making the Samba more aerodynamic. There's really no way. Like the reason why I want or I have the Samba is because of the way it looks. Obviously, I didn't like the way it worked. That's why I kind of hacked it and put an electric motor in it, right? It was one of those cars that just historically it's like underpowered. The design, this car was designed like in 1948 or so. It's like it's an ancient design. It doesn't work in the modern world. I mean, it's got problems. Like this car would never, like there's those stories that are going around that saying that the VW Volkswagen wants to bring the Samba again, the VW bus. Never gonna happen. Like that car that looks that way or close to that, it's never gonna happen. That's the reason why they stopped making the bay window. It's because it just no longer meets all the safety requirements. There's no way to make that car safe and yet look that way. And so the reason why I'm driving the world's most dangerous car is because I love the way it looks, because it's become an icon. It's an iconic car. They're super rare. Now they're expensive. It's not a good car. It's not a practical car in any way. And so in order to make it more aerodynamic or change the dynamics of this car, you would have to change the way it looks. That's the reason why it's a brick. It's a square going down the road. And so no. There are things maybe that you can do, but they're going to have such a tiny impact in the drag coefficient of this car. Which, by the way, it's not the worst car in the world when it comes to drag coefficient. The bug is actually worse. I don't know if I have the paper here. I looked it up once, and the bug is actually much worse than the bus. Believe it or not, I have no idea how that works, but it is. The rating, it's a lot higher. So.
Okay. Do you want to talk about soldering? This guy's talking about how did you make your soldering connections on the 80-50 packs so neat? Like what type of soldering and...
Oh, soldering? I think it's just regular. It's the kind that has the little the thing on that little paste on the core. What's that thing called? I don't even know what that is called. Resin core. It's called resin core solder. It's nothing special. I think I bought it like in some. I think I bought it like in allelectronics.com, or there's a couple of websites that I go to that is like surplus electronic websites. And early in my career, like doing here for Jack 5, we used to buy a lot of stuff from there because, well, it would let me buy stuff at like it was surplus. It's cheap stuff, right? So I buy a bunch of those. I mean, you get good at it when you're doing, you know. I think I've done over like, I don't know, 5,000 like points, you know, soldering. Yeah. So you kind of get good at it, you know. It's just practice. And you get quick at it. And so that's the other reason why that whole the whole thing where people are going like, you're killing the cells, you're doing it wrong. It's like, yeah, this is not the best way. Granted. I agree with you. There is better ways to doing it. This is good enough, at least for me and my project that I was doing. It's not what everybody makes it out to be. It's not killing the cells. I understand how you can heat them up to the point where all the plastic shielding that's in between the cathode, it might melt and then, you know, makes the battery less safe. But not if you get good at it. Not if you just put actually, 15 seconds and boom, you're done. 15 seconds, you're done, and you move on. When you're doing a bunch of batteries like that, you can do it. So you could solder batteries in a safe way. You could also completely screw them up and ruin them. But if you're careful, I believe you can do it. And so, yeah, I would love to have like what are those things called? I actually talked to a guy in one of the BW shows that told me that they build the machines that Tesla uses for soldering. But they don't solder them. It's to fuse the links on the cells, on the battery packs. And I was like, really? I'm like, oh, I got some questions for you. And he goes, I can't answer any of them. And I go, well, okay, can you at least tell me if it's that the sonic welding or sonic ultra, whatever it's called? And he's like, yeah, that's what it is. And, so he told me a few things, but he goes, most of the things, they make us sign NDAs or not NDAs, they made them sign documents that basically they can't disclose. Any of the technology, a lot of stuff is patented and it's kind of secretive or whatever. But he was, he knew what he was talking about. And I was showing him the things and I showed him my batteries and I'm like, is that what you guys? And he goes, yeah, those are the ones that we make the machines that do that. And it would be great to have one of those. I just don't see, I'm not making batteries to sell. So I don't know. I don't want to invest money in that stuff. Soldering works for me right now. For all the little experiments that I'm doing.
You ready for the next thing?
Yeah.
How much have you invested into the Samba?
Woo.
I know it's mostly for fun and learning, but is there a point where it becomes unreasonable?
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely been over $50,000. I think I added all my receipts because I had to insure it, right? Because it's it's a lot of money that it's rolling around, and so yeah, I think it came in like at 55,000 or something. Just okay, this is just in components. That's not my labor, you know what I mean? Like I'd spent hundreds of hours in this thing, and if I were to, the guy that was telling me about how this thing works, when they were gonna value the thing, and said you can't really put your time in there and put a figure to that because it's your vehicle and someone else values it. I don't know. So he was just, it's gonna be like you got to bring receipts, and so I'm like, oh, let me go grab the receipts. Yeah, something like $54,000 or something. It is a project that is worth it for me because it's a car that I want to drive. It's the learning thing. It's invaluable. I think it's the only way to learn. Like I said, like I'm not educated formally in anything. I went to school for like 6 years total, dropped out of high school. I know how to learn doing stuff and watching others do stuff and being involved. And so if I want to learn something, it's going to be like this, So this is my investment in my education and how to work with batteries and how to make cars and, a bunch of things. I've learned a lot of things doing this project. Also, it's not a bad investment either. Like the Samba, if I put $10,000 into the Samba and I paint it, I could take it to one of the auctions that happens, once or twice a year. These things are going for more than 100,000 every year. There's one that went for 200,000. You know what I mean? Like, if we do a good job on it, just for a little bit more money put into it, then we can sell it for a whole lot more. There's nothing else that has that kind of return, I think. Other than sneakers. I saw a TED talk about sneakers. There's very little thing that have like super high return on your investment, and all classic cars are one of them, and sneakers are the other ones. They do better than many of the stocks that you can get at the stock market and stuff. So it's not money thrown away. The educational thing, it's invaluable, and one day someone's gonna offer me stupid money for it. And I'm gonna take it, and then I'm gonna start another project, and it's gonna be cool. All right, cold fusion soldering is done with high frequency. Yeah. What, cold fusion? I don't know if that's called. Is that what it's called? Cold fusion? This guy called it something else. This is with sound. So this guy said that they shoot sound into it, and it vibrates at such high frequency that it actually creates its own heat from the vibration, and then it fuses the little link or whatever. So, cocaine has a high return. Yeah, it's also highly risky too. The risk to payoff ratio, I think it's off the charts. Classic cars, I mean, I guess you can get mugged, you can get broken into, you can get extorted, but it's less likely. I don't think it's such a dangerous venture that I can take.
That Storks guy is doing a motorcycle build. I'm pretty sure he's commented on your thing before, so he's planning on doing a whole video series about it, which is kind of cool. We always encouraged people to do their stuff because then it teaches other people how to do stuff, which is a big part of what your channel does.
Yeah.
Maybe talk about education a little.
Yeah, I mean, educational stuff. I mean, I don't know if I'd call myself like, I like learning stuff, right? And so I like sharing stuff. I think originally that was the reason why I started making these videos. It's mostly because I wanted to share just what I was doing with people. Then like apart from the storytelling, it's like I enjoyed listening to a good story. I do know that I get motivated by watching others do stuff and by seeing someone else's story, and so you want to kind of do the same thing for people. And so that's the reason why I kind of got in there, and I think that's the reason why I like making videos, and that's why I went into business doing videos. And so now that I'm here, I want to get more into it in a way that fulfills me, And so this Samba thing, yeah, it was a great thing, and it's doing a bunch of things, not only feeling good. It's like it's fulfilling in a lot of different areas, It's not just the storytelling part, but also like the technical part, which is figuring out how the electric cars work. how to build one, how to, it's also like kind of a little bit self-motivational. It's like, don't just accept what the system gives you. People tell you that the system tells you that electric cars are stupid, that no one wants them, that they're not good. And so there are those of us that are saying like, we don't accept that reality. We are going to prove our own reality by making our own car and driving it and feeling good because we built something with our own hands and it's clean and it can be clean and it's going to be part of the future. Like, this is going to be the thing, and so it feels good. Makes you keep feeling young too. You're part of the next generation too. You're not an old guy that is stuck in the old ways. As much as you like it, that's going to be the thing more and more every year, the older we get. But at least if you can look forward and be like, that's the way people are going to do things, then I'm going to be in the front also, figuring things out. So, yeah, electric cars are good for many reasons.
Eric says he owns a 69 VW Combi, which is, I guess it's a Brazilian one.
Okay.
And he wants to turn to electric. Is there any upgrade in the motor or ESC you had installed?
What's the ESC? Okay, so I guess is you asking if I would do it different? If I would do it again?
Oh, upgrade in the motor.
Or if I were to do your version? Wait, so it's a 69, did he say?
69, yeah.
So 69 would be a bay window. I think the bay windows are a bit heavier than the split window buses. There's a bunch of good stuff in it, better suspension, the framing. The frames are better, it's like a lot of stuff is good. The aerodynamics are better, I think, on them. I think it depends what you want, you know what I mean? Like, can you drive a car that only has 50 horsepower? Is 50 horsepower enough to drive around a 3,000 pound vehicle and get you to point A to point B? Yeah, I could do it. It's not going to be very fast. You're not going to be racing. You're not going to, you know what I mean? But that obviously not going to work for everyone. Someone's going to be like, nah, you need 100 horsepower. You need to be able to step on it and have the wheels, spin, so that's the big question. Like, I think this little the motors that I'm using, the ones that HPVS is selling, I think they're beautiful motors. They're nice. I think they're very popular. Like, you can buy those everywhere. There's nothing special to them. These guys are just rewinding them to work for that controller. And that controller is also like a good thing because it's widely available, it's mass produced. And so the only thing is that it's slightly too small. So it's about 50 horsepower, right? I think it's 50 horsepower continuous. I think it's like it maxes out at like 83 kilowatts or something. It's great for small cars. If you needed a bigger one or you needed to have your car go a little bit faster or, feel like it's got more power on there, you could you need something bigger. Or you can have like two of those, devices running at the same time, which is what a bunch of people are doing. Michael just did a bus that has two of those. They just did a Ferrari. Was it a Ferrari? No. Yeah, it's a Ferrari with three of those systems, and that thing is, I haven't seen it. I haven't written on it, but from what they tell me, it's it's got power. And so that's the thing. Like, it just depends what kind of car do you want to drive. I wouldn't change it. I think I could drive these cars with those little motors. Like my Samba weighs 3,000 pounds, and it's a brick. It's really bad aerodynamics. And I think this is enough to go, to get you where you're going. It's a cruising vehicle. If I wanted to build like like another car that I wanted to race or whatever, or have fun on it or whatever, yeah, I might choose like a bigger powertrain. And so those motors would work. What I want to try, and no one's tried, and I haven't seen anyone do it is try an HPVS motor, an AC50, AC51, and pair it with the Scott Drive, because the Scott Drive, I think they have like a 100 kilowatt version of that controller, and they might have like 130 or 150 or something. There's Reinhardt also have like, then you know those are like really expensive systems. I think those controllers run from like, you know, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 or something like that. So it's like what the whole system from HPVS cost you, then you're just spending on a tiny little controller that's got, you know, 100 kilowatts or whatever. So yeah, it just depends what you want. I wouldn't, if I just wanted to have like a cruiser, like something that just gets up and goes, I'd use the same thing. It'd be great.
Cool. Whole lot of stuff, not a lot of questions. Oh, the ESC is the electronic speed control.
Oh yeah, the controller. Mm-hmm.
So he just specified that.
Okay, so Martin says you sometimes do awesome time lapses or shots. I know you might not want to dedicate a vlog to it, but I really would be really interested to see how you work sometimes. Yeah, no, those are cool too. It's funny, like for so long we were doing technical stuff, right? We were like, oh, let's talk about gear, let's talk about the lenses, the cameras, the microphones, the cables, the batteries, the rods, the, you know, all that stuff that is technical to making video. And so for a long time, I think most of our followers on all the social media platforms were those people, the technical guys that were looking at the rigs and the thing. I think I'm not really good at explaining all that stuff, right? Because I guess I'm not very detailed. I think when it comes to sort of stuff, I'm just like, it's a camera, put the thing and adjust the ISO to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't have a good way to explain it. So I think some of those people have gone away now. Like the people that follow us and all the social platforms are not quite those people. Because like when I do the thing about the like the last vlog that I did about the microphone, you know, it really, no one was really that interested in it. There was a few of you guys that are like had your input and stuff, but it didn't do like the thing that you would expect. But yeah, I mean, that's a cool thing, you know, like I would like when I was starting, I would love when I would watch something that would explain how things are done. And even till this day, I still watch those videos, you know, people that explain how they're doing what they're doing and how to do it. Because sometimes, even if you know how to do it, you can learn a different way. Time lapses, it's one of those, you know, we've been doing time lapses for a long time and we know a few different ways. It's funny, I get to see some of the big time YouTube vloggers and I see how they're doing their time lapses and I'm like, what? Like, that's not how you do time lapses, but they're doing them the way they can, right? And they're successful at what they're doing, and so they're just lack a little bit of that stuff. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I think one day we'll do one of those. I do want to do more time lapses. When I started doing my vlogs, I just started going back into my folder with a bunch of time lapses that I've done through the years, and I started using those. But I think, you know, I'm either like going through them, maybe I don't have that many more that are like interesting looking or something. So I need to, like, I was thinking about this the other day, maybe I need to spend a whole day and just go and shoot time lapses that I can then use for the next month or something, and then next month do it again. Yeah, it'd be great. I'd see myself doing a whole vlog about that, explaining and showing what software to use and, you know, the whole thing.
It's so, I think in the future we're gonna have to pick a subject.
Oh, because there's just all over the place?
Well, you know, it'll be easier to kind of... Oh,
yeah, to drive the things. Wait.
You could say goodbye to Jason. He's taking off. He's saying keep up the inspiring EV videos.
All right.
Videos are great quality.
Thank you for joining us, Jason. So Eric says, have you ever saw brushless motor in series through
the shaft?
The shaft. Saw brushless motor in series through the shaft. Hey, shut up. I don't know what that means. You mean like cut it through the shaft in half? Or what do you mean? I don't understand that question. Okay, the plans are 1, the rear chain to the rear wheel sprocket, then 2 facing outboard in the front of the motorcycle chain, 2 CV shafts in the frame running to forward wheels, hubs on the front tires. Whoa. Wait, those are motors? Is that what you're saying? You're gonna put like 1 motor and then 2 motors? Are you thinking of using like a bunch of like multiple small motors, or? He says samba is the subject.
Yeah, no,
The samba!
Also, Brian says from the east.
From the east. Yeah, it's just, that's not funny. It's just an inside joke.
Yo, because they're talking about making like the fastest car.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, whoa.
People are using multiple motors. And in fact, most of these like drag race cars are using DC motors, right? Because they're cheap and they're strong and they have tons of torque. They're just not very reliable. They're not good for a car that's supposed to do 200, 300,000 miles, you know, without you doing tons of maintenance on the brushes, on the commutators, on the... but yeah, they usually like put 2 or 4. I know the guys in Texas, they're doing... You know, Michael has one that's got 2 11-inch motors, right? Going to a Power Glide, and that's what he's got there. And so I think that that's on a BMW that he's got an M3 in San Diego, right? And then that guy, what's it called? The Phantom? The White Zombie. The White... Is it the White Zombie?
No, it's
not the White Zombie.
Zombie 322, no, 2233, I don't know.
222?
Something like that.
Okay, there's a guy...
I'll find it and I'll link it.
Wait, and didn't we meet someone that was his friend? I met someone that was like, oh yeah, that's my friend. Oh yeah, the guy from ICANN. Okay, never mind. When I was in New York, the guy was telling me, another sales guy from one of my competitor companies that sells the same products, similar products that we do, was telling me that he's friends with the guy in Texas that has that 69, like, it's a... Oh my God, why can't I get this out? It's a Mustang Fastback.
Oh yeah, here it is.
The 222.
Zombie 222.
Zombie.
I linked it on the thing.
Zombie 222. Okay, that one also has 2 motors, 11-inch motors. They're using a different controller than Michael. Michael's using a Shiva, which is like way bigger than it needs to be. I think that Shiva could like power 4 of those motors, no problem, no sweat. The ones that these guys are using are the Zilla, I think Zilla 2000 or something, or 2K. So yeah, I mean those are super fast cars. That car just, I think, wants to break the 200 mile per hour record, I think, in the Texas mile. Michael has the Pikes Peak street legal car record going up the mountain. Yeah, you can put several motors and then get some incredible amount of torque and power out of them. They're just not very good for... They're high performance. They're not daily drivers. You know, they're not going to be as reliable as a daily driver, as an AC system without brushes and stuff. So all right, 222
drive system should have the lowest rotating mass, the more parts spinning, raw horsepower, and use energy. I don't know what Jeff's referring to. Depending on vehicle weight, you can size the light this transmission system, or even direct drive if speed isn't your goal.
Yeah. Yeah, on the Rover, I want to put two motors like the ones I have on my Samba, direct drive right into the drive shaft. Oh, yeah, into the drive shaft. So that's going to go into the differential. The differential is going to be a 4-to-1 gear ratio on there, and it's got big giant wheels. So I believe that is the perfect gearing for like two AC51s running the 96 volt controllers. It's not going to be a race car, but I think it's going to be super smooth. The motor and the shaft, the motor, the motors are never going to be spinning more than like 4,000 RPMs. I mean, at 4,000 RPMs, you're doing like 100 miles an hour or something. And so it's got all the torque is concentrated towards the bottom on those motors before you hit like, 2,800 RPMs. It's a bunch of torque, which is 0 to like 50 or something like that. That's where all the torque is concentrated. And so it's going to be super smooth. I think it's going to be a great car if we ever finish building it. Which, by the way, we are going to build it. He got back to me. He says he's ready. We just need to get together and then run over the numbers and see what else, how much more we need to order, and if anything's changed as far as the plans, which I don't think it has. But yeah, the Rover's coming. We're going to start that up again.
If you were to start again from the building the Samba, what would you do different?
What would I do different if I start the Samba again? Man, I mean, there's like a bunch of, I don't know. I don't. There's nothing I think that I undone. I mean, like those batteries that I have there, the lithium, what are the lithium cobalt? No, not lithium cobalt oxide. The lithium. Oh my God, which one are the bricks? The
lithium iron phosphate.
The iron phosphate. LiFePO. Oh my God, I don't even remember
cobalt.
No, not the cobalt ones. Maybe the batteries. I think I wouldn't put those original yellow bricks. Those were really expensive. I mean, they were a deal at the time that I bought them or whatever, but they obviously are not the best thing for it now. Like that chemistry does not make sense on the Samba. You know what I mean? Like if I want to have 150 miles of range, do I need 150 miles of range? No, not really. Not all the time, but yeah. Yeah. What is the chemistry on LiFePO 4? It's lithium iron phosphate? I think it's lithium iron phosphate, right? Oh my God, I gotta get back into this stuff. Yeah, lithium iron phosphate. Thank you, Jeff. That stuff is like super safe. Like those batteries are great, and they have 2,000 cycles of life. They'll last you forever, right? But it's just way too heavy. If I want to have, the mileage that I want on my Samba in there, then it doesn't work. Like these Tesla modules work better. The 18650s work a lot better. And of course they're not available at the time when I started the Samba, but now they are. And so now I need to change those old ones out and repurpose those, put them somewhere. I want to try and see if I can repurpose those lithium iron phosphate, and do them like in a Powerwall application. You just put them in boxes and put the thing there, put them in a wall, and see if they look good. And I mean, they look good, and they'll work just fine. So maybe that's where they'll end up. Because in a wall in a garage, it doesn't really matter if they're not the lightest, the most dense battery cell, right? So Yeah, we can repurpose. I have 20 kilowatts of that still in the summer right now, so it would be, yeah, we got to do a project on that.
Are you going to add more batteries to the Samba, or are you going more on to the next project?
No, so I want to put, yeah, I want to replace the lithium iron phosphate with this Tesla modules. I want to put another like 10 modules, which is what, 6 times. Well, I don't know. It's like another. I think I'm gonna have. Yeah, I want to have like 18 modules. So what is that? 18. By the time I'm done, I want to have about 54 kilowatts. So it's almost the same thing that Michael did. Michael Breen from EV West just put 18 modules of battery on his double cab. It's a crew cab splitty bus. And so you're going to see that in the videos next month when we go to Lake Havasu. He's going to come up with me, and then we're going to go up to Joshua Tree RV park, and we're going to spend the night there. We're going to charge, and then the next morning we're going to get up, and then we're going to do the second leg of the trip. And so that's how much I want to do. And so that 54 kilowatts on Tesla packs, they weigh less than 700 pounds, which is what I got right now on the Samba, about 700 pounds worth of batteries. And so that's my goal. My goal is to put a lot of those back over there in the front, so that the weight, right now the Samba, the weight distribution is not the best. I got 2,000 pounds in the back axle, and I got 1,000 pounds in the front. So I want to move some of those batteries in the center, so that it's more even distributed. It's just kind of hard to find tires that can handle that kind of weight, especially the little tires that I'm using, because I have mine lowered and stuff, which is not just like aesthetically. I don't want just the Samba to look cool lowered, which I think it does. It looks better, but also I think it's better for the aerodynamically. It's like the lower it is, the better it handles all that weight and stuff. So, check out Electro Duca Solar BMS. Huh. I guess I gotta check that out.
Christopher asks, what do you put power into your yellow power wall with? Solar, wind?
Yeah, you take your choice. What do you feed the power wall with? Your house battery? Yeah. So I'm thinking about doing a video where I'm making a DIY power wall, right? So that video's coming. I think I have it all figured out in my head. But yeah, part of that is figuring out how do you put the energy in, and how do you get the energy out of this battery, right? Building a battery is no big deal. Anyone can do it. Now, to choose what configuration works best. So a house battery works in many ways. Like here in California, it works because the difference between the peak hour rates that we get and the off-peak hour rates it's huge. It's like 2/3, I think. So I get 11 cents off-peak, and then it's like 32 cents or something on peak. And so how this battery could work for you is you charge it during off-peak hours. You pay 11 cents per kilowatt, and then you use that on peak, and then you save yourself 22 cents every kilowatt that you use. So that's one way of working it. So you don't need a lot of equipment. You just need kind of like a DC to DC, something that, like a charger that you can use the grid to charge your battery, and then an inverter that, then that it feeds your house with AC. I think that's what they're designed for, or I think that's how a lot of people are going to use them here. But also, yeah, in California, we have lots of sun, and with solar equipment going down in price, I think it makes sense to buy some solar panels and then, charge them with the sun, and then use that later, at night or whatever or whenever. And so, I mean, that's a combination right there that you can have zero carbon footprint. It's once you pay for the system, you're self-sustainable. You know what I mean? Like you no longer have to give anybody money for the electricity that you produce. And so I think that's the goal of a lot of people. It's like to be self-sustainable, to have a self-sustainable home. And so that's how you can use those.
Are you gonna have a meetup in Joshua Tree? That's Hot Rod's asking.
Well, it's gonna be hard because
we're gonna go sleep and charge.
Yeah, so we're gonna take off on Thursday, I think. Right, so the show is like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and so we're taking off Thursday afternoon, and then we're gonna drive to Joshua Tree and then park there, and then go to sleep. So we're just gonna be there overnight. I mean, I don't know. Last time we were trying to get out of here early enough to get there and see the sunset and all the stuff, but it didn't work that way. We took out of here when it was like, what time was it? Like 10? It was like 10 at night or something, 9, 10 or something. So we didn't get there till like midnight or 1 or something. And then we stayed there for 7 hours, charged up, and then at 7 in the morning we headed out, met the rest of the caravan down the road, and then we went. So I think that's the plan. So it's kind of hard to do a meetup. It's gonna be hard to unless we kind of take off Thursday really early, which I don't know. Now I'm gonna be waiting on Michael. Michael's gonna be coming down from San Diego, and then I don't know if we're gonna meet here or meet up over there. We'll have to work all those details out.
Cool. How is Mo? People keep wanting to talk about solar grid setups.
Solar grid setups? Oh yeah.
It's 1 hour and 20 minutes. What time we start? About 20 minutes before 6. So.
No, was it 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, I think so. No.
Maybe we should call it a day.
All right.
It's probably about an hour now.
It's probably about an hour. Whatever credits that are needed during the year on January. I don't know how the credit things work. I think I'm like way past all the stuff. Like, I keep receiving messages from my utility that I'm way over. Yeah, they don't know that I have 2 electric cars, and we don't buy gas. Well, we don't buy that much gas. They need to start making like programs for people that are gonna use electricity instead of fossil fuels. Because we get penalized too. We don't get the same rate as my other neighbors that are using a quarter the amount of electricity because they're just powering their their household. They're not powering their vehicles with them. So they need to make some concession, I think, for the rest of us that we're doing that.
Someone said put the yellow LiPo cells into the trailer.
Into the trailer. Oh yeah, maybe I'm gonna do that this time around. That's a lot of work.
At home is your house pack, and road trips it could be extender.
Yeah. So it's like
Christopher saying that.
Yeah, that's a perfect idea. Like while you're at home, you hang your trailer in your garage, and then you connect that pack. That's your power wall, right? Maybe you take it off of the wheels or whatever. I don't know. So it could look nice. Depends, But that could serve as your power wall, your house battery. And then when you want to take a trip, you just, put wheels on them, strap it to the back of your car, then you drive away. That would be the perfect combination. You bring your home battery with you so you can get the extra mileage for long range traveling. That's gonna be a thing. I mean, that makes sense. Why wouldn't that work? You know what I mean? Like, someone needs to make that, and if it's not gonna be someone else, I guess it's gonna have to be me.
Gabriel is here from Ecuador. He saw the main viewer are concerned about electric cars. Why don't you upload more videos?
About electric cars? Because they're hard, and because I have a job, and
Watch the vlog and you'll understand.
yeah, I mean it's a constant battle. It's not like I'm here like doing nothing. You know what I mean? It's like making videos. It's hard. Making videos about projects that you have to do and spend money on, it's extra hard. And so, I'm trying my best to try to do it.
Okay, one last thing. Maybe talk a little bit about if anyone would be interested in coming out to Buzz Leather Bridge to meet up. Like, drunken around and saying, like, I think I would want to do that.
Oh, yeah.
And it would be cool to kind of just have a meetup out there. It's a cool event.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what it is and when it's happening.
Yeah. So we're going in the middle of it's around the middle of
I'll give you exact date.
January. We're going to this show. Is
January 14th to the 17th.
Oh, there we go. January 14th to the 17th. We're going. It's called Buses by the Bridge.
I'm going to put a link.
It's in Lake Havasu, Arizona. It's a big gathering of like camping BW buses. It's a laid back event. There's a bunch of things that happen there. The balloons and the whole thing. We have a video that we made for the last couple of years. You can go watch it. At the beginning of this live stream, I played one video of 2 years ago when we went. There's the last year that I went and brought the electric Samba. So this time around, there's going to be 2 Sambas or 2 BW buses. They're going to be electric. We're going to head out there. If you guys would like to go and meet us or whatever, I think, just leave comments down below in this video. We'll try to kind of plan it out. It would be great to have like a meetup somewhere. Who knows? Maybe we could even start like a thing where like it becomes like a meetup for electric cars, not just BWs, whatever. There's 3.
Because also the thing that Michael's working on, the guy, he goes to Buzz Leather Bridge.
Oh, so there might be another one.
He's thinking of taking his.
There might be
right.
more
You
electric
can-
buses.
you
I
can
don't know
go
that.
with me to that too. Yeah, I met up with that guy, and he's drives the BW thing that Michael's finishing up right now.
Oh.
So he's also planning on coming out, especially now. If Michael's going.
Oh, okay. It turns out there might be more electric vehicles than just me and Michael. There might be the BW thing. Maybe we can even convince. Except he doesn't have a range.
He's gonna have to tow it.
He's gonna have to tow it or make a battery. Hey,
It's electric.
it's electric. That's David. We didn't go see him at the LA Auto Show this year, but he was showing a few VW vehicles there that are electric, including now a VW Samba. Well, not a Samba, but a VW bus. And so, I mean, it might be a gathering where now there's so many BWs that are going to be electric that it might be cool. So if you guys are interested in that, it's a possibility. I think we're always down to have a meetup. I know if you guys have watched the EV show, we always, wanted to do a meetup. We did one at the races last, 6 months ago or whatever. It was great to see a bunch of people come down and share experiences and do all this stuff. Leave it down in the comments. Maybe we can, maybe we can put something together. I know it's coming up kind of, soon, about a month from now. Wait, right? Is it a month? No, more than a month.
A month and a half.
Month and a half. So there's time to plan something out. 50 days until Buses by the Bridge. 50 days. Yeah, you could always fly out to Los Angeles and then rent a BW and go. You know what's so crazy about that? I love like Hawaii, right? Like I've gone there twice for vacation and stuff. I love the show Lost, and you know there's a BW bus that was in the show, and we love to go see those. And I always thought, how great would it be if I were to like one day move to Hawaii and like have like a BW bus rental for anyone that wants to come into the islands and then like explore the islands. But who wants a fiesta? How cool would it be like to be able to rent a nice classic BW bus, run it over? Here's the thing. Hawaii is one of the best states to go electric. They have the best infrastructure because it's such a small place in the island and there's such limited roads. And so it's like, oh, we can run them electric so they don't, break down all the time and the maintenance is not all high. How crazy would that be? I know, Hawaii's a thing, but yeah, even in California, it would be a great thing if someone could come fly to California, rent a bus, and then go to the show or whatever. Yeah, that's a great idea. If it existed. You never know. There's people that have extra buses in their garages. Maybe we can start that service too, like linking the people with buses and linking with the people that want to drive buses for special events or whatever. That would be great, right? All right, guys. So it's 7 p.m. in California. This is one of the busiest times of the year for me because we are gearing up. Well, we haven't actually done anything, but we need to get busy and put up on a sale because this is, retail. This is the only time of the year that we actually can make some decent sales. And we're going to need them because then after this, the next few months are going to be kind of slow. And so, you sell a lot during this month and then you kind of, that kind of carries you over till the beginning of next month. So I'm swamped with orders currently. That's why I haven't been able to put videos and upload vlogs and stuff. I just needed a break, and this is a good way to have a break from that and talk to you guys. But we're gonna have to get back to it. So I want to thank everyone that is showed up and are watching this. Thank you for all your questions. Leave anything else that I left behind in the comments or that I didn't discuss. We'll discuss it later. You guys know I always try to answer all the questions that you guys ask and discuss. Yeah. So have a good holiday. Don't spend too much money. And if you do, make sure you use one of our links to. Oh yeah, maybe we should do like a thing. Here's the thing. Like we have Amazon affiliate. Yeah, we have an Amazon affiliate thing, and so if you click and you go to Amazon through that link, then whatever you buy.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't add anything extra to your purchases, but then that sends a little bit of, points to us. It's not much, but anything helps, and hopefully, if you guys are gonna be buying stuff, then and if you guys don't already have some other link that you guys are using for someone else, it'd be cool if you guys can use our link. So if you guys are going to purchase anything, but don't spend too much money because, it's not a good thing. Because you got to save up.
Okay, that's enough of that.
But go spend some money. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for spending time with us. We'll see you next week. Hopefully I can upload a lot of videos after the sale. Maybe I'll get busy and start uploading. There's a lot of videos. There's a Powerwall one coming. There's the other one about the food that I was talking last week. There's just piling up in my head. So it's gonna be good stuff. All right, guys. Have a good night. See you guys later. All right. How do we shut it?